Every second, the world around us is changing. Flying cars, artificial intelligence, instant messaging, and life on space stations all seemed impossible 100 years ago. So what could be waiting for us in another 50 years? We promise you won't have to wait long to find out.
My name is Kate.
And I'm Talish.
And we're gonna tell you about the future.
Which starts today.
There's a house in Russia with which you can speak the same language.
I hope to see you soon.
The Japanese are no longer afraid of earthquakes because their houses can take off and fly. In the Netherlands, houses come together as a fleet.
And they even have bedrooms underneath the water.
In the Russian city of Yaroslavl, people know how to build a small house in 1 hour.
There's no fooling around in this factory.
How will these technologies change life in 50 years? Do you want to see it right now?
Are you sure?
Yes, it's yours now.
Why?
Because this house does everything for me. I was tired of endless smart houses, vacuum cleaners and washing machines doing all the work for me. I want to chop wood by myself, cook for myself, as it was once back in 2018. And many miles later, I found it.
Welcome to your new home. Fireplace lit, food is on the table, anti-mosquito field activated.
No way. Screw it. I'm going to live in a tent.
Welcome to your new home. Earth heating is on, anti-mosquito field activated.
I hate you!
So that was the future.
I don't know why he's so nervous. I mean, I think cities of the future are a dream. We're gonna have so much time. Imagine having a house that's gonna help you walk your dog.
And then your dog makes friends with your house, you return home after work one day, and they've gone on vacation together.
A house can actually go somewhere. I mean, it's got electrical, it's got air conditioning, it's got plumbing, it's got all the...
Talish,
Yeah.
it was a joke. Although, already today, independent houses already exist. One of them was built in Russia. Skolkovo is a famous innovation center in Russia. You can find a lot of new technologies here. Starting from a 3D printer that can print using living cells to a multi-story building where you can easily survive in case of an emergency. And it's not a gloomy bomb shelter. It's a cube made out of concrete and glass. A hypercube. The hypercube is also called the prototype house. It occupies 3,000 square feet. But soon, there will be a whole city of houses just like that. Would you like to know what our life will be like in the future? Hello, my name is Kate. Nice to meet you. I'm super excited. Can you show me around? When an architect, Boris Bernasconi, was planning to build such a house, no one believed it could be possible.
Условий не было никаких. Собственно, это было чистое поле. Мы даже не знали, чем это все закончится.
But now Boris is sure. If there will be neither running water nor electricity on planet, life will be possible only in the hypercube. Electricity for powerful computers, lighting devices, and even pancakes in cafeteria is generated by solar traps like these.
Солнечные ловушки доставляют при помощи оптоволокна солнечный свет в темные помещения напрямую. На южном фасаде мы разместили солнечные батареи, которые обеспечивают энергией весь технический свет здания. Внешняя сетка, например, летом защищает внутренний контур от перегрева, а зимой от холодного ветра.
The house house of the future is built in accordance with the 4E principle.
Энергоэффективность, эргономичность, экологичность и экономичность.
What will the houses of the future look like from the inside? In reality, we'll be able to talk to our homes in the future about anything. For example, about the weather.
What's the weather tomorrow?
Here's the forecast for tomorrow in Koningslo. Look for intermittent clouds with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 13 degrees.
Or even football.
Where's the world champion football?
I don't know that one.
A test building has been built in Belgium. All the innovative technologies which we will be able to use in 5 years are installed there.
Hello. Oh, I see you have some guests with you. Hello, everybody.
Talking is not the only thing we'll be able to do with our homes of the future. They will help us, replacing babysitters and housewives. They will even go shopping for us.
So, for instance, when I want to order a bottle of wine, I can just write it down here and say, okay, I would love to have a bottle of wine, and I drag and drop it to the shopping list.
And in a couple of minutes, a courier will deliver your order. A smart kitchen will cook you a dinner. I want all of these functions in my house. The only functions I would have would be like a sock search function, or if I'm hungry, the house will order the pizza for me. And the best part, if my neighbors are being too loud, my house can fight with them and I will be fast asleep.
Oh, I wouldn't want to live like that. Imagine if I had a surprise for my husband, let's say a razor, and I would want to hide it. But my house tells me every time he does not belong there. It will ruin everything.
But if you wanted to hide a lover from your husband...
Kate, where are you? Are you alone here? House, has anyone been in here recently? Lovers are not detected.
But I have no lovers.
That's your problem.
But what we could do is to have a remake of Home Alone. But instead of a boy, the house would deal with the robbers.
Yeah, or in the case of some kind of geological storm, the house would just be able to fly away.
Japanese engineers have assured us it's not fiction. Everyone in this huge shed is waiting for a miracle created in accordance with the laws of physics. This prototype house is put on a platform which simulates severe earthquakes. Just a second, and the platform starts moving. You see how a storm is raging inside this glass cube, but everything is calm inside the house. Even the water in the glass is still. How did they manage to do this?
紹介します。この家はですね、見た目普通の家。
You may not believe this, but actually it's the first levitating house in the world. Mr. Sakamoto's house hovers 2 inches above the ground. And it does not need wings for that.
空気を入れます。ここ見ててくださいね。はい、スイッチ入れます。何センチぐらい浮いてるんですか？本当は1ミリでいいんですけど、今回3センチぐらい浮かしてます。
This is how Mr. Sakamoto solved the main problem in Japan, the danger of devastating earthquakes.
突然お風呂に入ってる時、その時に自分の体の浮力を感じて。
It was like Archimedes' famous revelation. Mr. Sakamoto remembered Pascal's law, which states that when there is an increase in pressure at any point in the confined fluid, there is an equal increase at every other point in the container.
で計算機で風呂から出て計算機でやっても 0.1 気圧で家が浮くと。
The air is forced in by an ordinary air compressor, which you can buy in any hardware store. Seismic sensor, which turns the system on automatically, is placed in the closet.
この周りを叩けばその地震を感知すると上がりますね。ちょっと叩いてみますね。
Even an earthquake of magnitude 10.0 on the Richter scale won't even shake this house.
この装置はこの建物と同じように私の下に空気が入るんです。隣とここは全く振動の穴一緒です。止めますね。かわいそうですから。あんまり長いと大変ですから。
Mr. Sakamoto is sure if we find more powerful machines, houses will really soar in the air in the future. Well, only only the Japanese could invent such houses, now they just have to deal with tidal waves and then...
They already have.
What?
The solution is simple. They just have to build houses on the water.
This city has even got a name, Greenfloat. 10 artificial islands that look like lotuses will float on water. At the heart of each lotus is a huge 1 kilometer-high tower. Offices and shops will be at the top, agricultural farms in the middle, and private premises at the bottom. These islands will even have beaches and forests. 30,000 Japanese people will settle on this watery oasis. Now, the city will emerge beyond the tidal border because it's tidal waves that are the most devastating and the most dangerous. But out in the open water, the buildings will rise and fall, leaving the residents completely unharmed. However, while the Japanese are just planning, the Dutch have already been building the houses. Floods and inundations are not a big deal for them.
It's more safe because you can go up and down with any fluctuation, any flood.
What is the secret? The secret is a concrete platform. This is the development of Dutch architect. He's been designing floating homes all over the world for 15 years now.
Our cities are growing rapidly. We have urbanization, and in the next 20, 30 years, another few millions of people will start to live in the cities. There is not space enough, so we have to find space. So the space we find on water.
This is what the first floating houses designed by Hees Bureau look like.
We're almost here in the center of Holland, in Delft, and this water, it's a water storage area.
The frame of the houses is constructed out of light materials, wood and aluminum. They have one peculiarity. They can change and move as the owner wishes. For instance, you may moor a pontoon with a greenhouse or a lawn with a barbecue on it, or expand the area by buying a module with extra rooms. These houses are built just like blocks.
And the first houses appeared 4 years ago. And you see that people are really settled in now and enjoying the water. So in summertime, you see people swimming here in the water. You have the roof terraces on top, and you even have bedrooms underneath the water.
In the near future, he's planning to build a full-fledged floating city on the open water. What habitats are humans ready to explore? Water, air. But designers are developing their ideas further. In 100 years, we are going to live underground, and this is what it's going to look like.
Sweetie, it's a surprise. You've been dreaming about this for so long.
Wow! Is it really our first home? Wow! An apartment with a sea view. Bathroom with a mountain view. Forest. I want to smell the leaves.
Don't open the window.
Are we underground? Oh my God! I feel my claustrophobia again.
That's why I asked you to not open this window.
Oh.
Just look at the wonderful lakes. What a wonderful sea. Just relax, sweetie.
Oh.
In the last 15 minutes, I've heard 3 theories on where we're gonna live. In the air, underground, under the water.
And the best part is, all these projects are being built right now.
A 65-story upended pyramid will soon appear right in the center of Mexico City. The groundscaper will go down to a depth of 300 meters. The roof of this building will be a glass panel, and the sunlight will reach the upper or lowest floor. The roof will be a productive space above the ground. There will be cafes and trees all around. Geothermal energy will be the energy source for the building. It will make this underground city self-sufficient.
The real question is, will the most expensive penthouses be on the bottom or the top?
For me, the whole idea of groundscraper sounds too extreme. And besides, what about the view? I'm not gonna have it.
If a view is what you're after, you should buy an apartment in the spinning skyscraper, which is soon going to be built in Dubai. There, you can catch both the sunrise and the sunset.
Just imagine 80 or even 100 stories, and every single one of them rotates around the axis the way you want it to.
You can change the direction, the speed, and you can change the timing when each floor starts to rotate. And then I discovered really The building is changing its profile.
This futuristic project's architect, David Fisher, studied in the city of Florence, the capital of world architecture.
Well, the idea came when I think I was 5 years old. And I remember my mother used to take me to the beach every evening to have my dinner. And I was holding a sandwich on my left hand and a hard-boiled egg on my right hand. And I was watching the big sun, red, slowly, slowly, slowly dropping into the water. And this is when I started to think about the motion. One day is gone, another day will come. Everything is moving, everything is changing.
10 years ago, Fisher finished all his projects, brought a team of specialists together, and started designing a skyscraper which was to astonish the entire world and change the understanding of architecture.
We use the wind blowing on the floors. We use the wind going between the floors to rotate wind turbines. So we believe this building is going to be more green than any other building built until today. We intend to ask for a new standard of green buildings, dynamic green buildings.
Aren't you feeling dizzy? The residents of the rotating skyscraper do not have this problem at all.
The speed is constant. Motion sickness is only when there is acceleration or deceleration. When we go faster or slower, this is when we feel the motion.
The only drawback of such accommodations is the price, $30 million. You'll have to wait till the construction work will end. The project's investors are rather reluctant to implement it. At first, they wanted to erect the rotating skyscraper in New York, then in Moscow. Now they're planning to do this either in Dubai or Miami. It doesn't matter what city Fisher's dream will be built in. Anyway, you will surely have a wonderful view.
I would call this place a house you can get a taxi to. Hello, sir? Where you at? By the grocery store. Great. Oh, you have to move 100 meters more to the pharmacy. Oh, you're at the pharmacy? Move to the parking lot, please. I'm really sorry. My house keeps spinning.
I wonder if you're going to be able to control the rotation speed.
Why?
I mean, what if your house is spinning too fast? All right. Oh, what a beautiful sunset. Hey, what? What? Oh, man, now I gotta wait another 2 minutes. Gotta hit up this Tinder, though.
Specialists are sure that cities of the future will be constructed on the principle of toy blocks, either in height or in breadth. The technology is already available, and it has been tested first in Russia.
This historic Russian city was first established in the 11th century, with some historians claiming it to be one of the original Russian settlements. The Kremlin behind me took decades to build, but these days, the citizens of Yaroslavl don't have to wait that long to build a house. In fact, here, it only takes up to 3 days. Now, all it takes is to push a button on a 3D printer, and I can't even believe those words are coming out of my mouth because I need somebody to explain this to me. Alexander, nice to meet you. I'm Talich. Okay, what are we doing today? This looks important. I gotta put on my hat. Cool. All right. I've never been a construction worker before. I hope it's well paid, because I might have to give up my TV job.
Scientists have been using 3D printers for quite a while in medicine and confectioners in gastronomy. But Alexander Maslov was the first in Europe who dared to print a house.
Эта идея была немножко абсурдная, наверное, на то время, это было 6 лет назад, поскольку такого оборудования не существовало в принципе. Первый дом был построен здесь, в Ярославле. Он был напечатан на очень маленьком принтере в цехе здесь.
The first building was printed in parts at a speed of 15 square meters per hour. First, they made the walls, decorations, and a tower. Then they brought these to the site and put it all together like a puzzle.
So this is the first 3D printed house in all of Europe. And it's amazing that something that was built using the most modern and sophisticated technology actually resembles the classical style. And speaking of classics, we're gonna check out some classic Russian hospitality. Hello again. Thank you so much for having me.
Alexander was the first to test his own invention. He's both the builder and the owner of this house.
Надо было убедить других, что эта технология не игрушечная, не надуманная, а она позволяет реально строить дома, вводить их в эксплуатацию. Это моя жена Наталья, это моя дочь Анастасия.
Hello.
Можно садиться за стол, пить чай. Это булочки, они испечены только что. Свежие, вкусные. А вот это я очень рекомендую попробовать. Это мед диких пчел. Это не из ульев, это из леса.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And how is it in the winter? Does it get really cold with the concrete, or does the concrete insulate as well?
Дело в том, что когда мы этот дом проектировали, мы его считали в том числе по теплоемкости. Мы прожили вот уже целый год, и здесь тепло.
The printed house survives severe Russian winters with temperatures of 30 degrees centigrade below zero. It is eco-friendly and economical.
Здесь есть напечатанные, оставлены фрагменты, чтобы было видно, что это настоящий дом, который напечатан на принтере. Да. Здесь комната сына, здесь живет маленький сын, ему 14 лет.
Right. We've got a friend hanging out in the background here. He was not 3D printed, I promise you. Okay.
Попугай знает очень много, он по утрам поет Happy Birthday to you.
To print a house, you don't necessarily need to contact a construction company. Any family can do it right on the site.
Вы покупаете проект с флешкой, вставляете ее в компьютер и печатаете сюда.
So I'm noticing that this is incredibly precise right now. It's actually following it. There's no mistakes, nothing's falling off, everything's going where it needs to be. Seems to be working just fine.
Да, надо это сам подкладывать дальше для того, чтобы смесь не кончалась.
Okay, there's no fooling around in this factory. It's hard work or nothing, guys. Alexander, thank you so much.
Спасибо большое за работу.
I'm going to give you your hat back.
In countries like France and the United States, a lot of social programs are already experimenting with 3D printed houses. The idea is that in the future, this will help solve problems like homelessness and poverty. Well, I wonder how we are all going to accommodate all of us on this planet.
Человечество разрастается, оно будет разрастаться. То есть нам нужно осваивать новые пространства, и океан, и космос. Поэтому, конечно же, будут появляться и города на воде, и будут появляться города в космосе.
A futuristic forest city is already being built in the southern part of China. 1 million plants will absorb 10,000 tons of carbon dioxide and produce 900 tons of oxygen. This is the plan of the Australian city of Melbourne in 100 years. It's got only eco-friendly underground and air transportation.
The city itself is covered by a transparent dome, which gathers solar power and water.
Мы сейчас стоим на пороге тоже огромной революции, и города меняются радикально. Города будут умными.
The city will have all information about every resident. What is the best way to get home from work? What's the best place for lunch? What supermarket to choose?
Where the chair knows that I'm sitting in the chair. And the chair knows, hey, you don't have the right posture. Sit up straight, lean back properly so you don't have a sore back. The light should know, hey, there's somebody here I need to be on. And there's nobody here I don't need to be on. The window should know, when did the sun come up this morning? When is it going to go down? Should I be open or should I be closed? Should I shade or should I not shade?
However, experts at Kaspersky Lab, an international company specializing in computer virus protection systems,
say that such a development path isn't safe. One moment and humanity may become a victim of cyber terror.
Известный случай, когда через атаки на систему управления, например, отключали электричество. Есть серьезные программы, которые нацелены на эти системы. Важно, чтобы все сотрудники, которые работают с умными девайсами и управляют умным городом, понимали вообще, что у них в руках, да, и понимали ответственность. Потому что, перехватив управление, да, можно натворить делов.
What if this city decides that it knows what's best for its residents?
What if it had sole control over our lives?
You'll always be in my heart, even if these machines try to tear us apart.
Okay, don't forget about me. I'm gonna do whatever I can to... I'm Talish.
And I'm Kate. The future holds so many secrets.
But soon we'll reveal them all.